Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Schnozzcast. This is our show. Bob and Cory and Todd. Cory, how are you?
Oh, boy. It's been a doozy today, Bob.
You really didn't answer my question.
Oh, I'm fantastic.
Excellent. Todd, how are you, sir?
Stupendous, sir. Stupendous.
All right, boys. Let's jump right into it. This show's going to be all about love and positive energy, and no cross words for internet providers in any way.
And wieners.
Scott, I'm in the middle of a song. I can't hit the button.
We got a song play out.
Jesus.
Hit the
You
button.
guys forgot how a mixer works. Oh, and of course the wieners one is like way over here on the left. Oh, louder, Todd.
Even their wieners.
There you go.
There we go.
Oh,
there we
that's
go.
good.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, boy.
I don't know about you guys, but I just got a little hard.
Boom. Boom. All right.
I love that. Love it.
Hey, if you're returning to the show, thank you so much for coming back. If you're new, you can find us out here each and every Saturday, anywhere where you get a podcast. We're usually live on YouTube.
We are currently live on YouTube.
Are we?
Yeah.
I'm looking at it.
Are you serious?
I'm looking at it.
Oh, okay. So I just let me just very quickly message at least one person to let them know, because I already told them we weren't.
Oh, yeah, we're live.
Scratch that.
For now, we are.
We are live. But if you're new to the show, you can find us out here each and every weekend. We release new episodes out on the streaming services every Friday at 10:30 a.m. Eastern Time. So whether it's, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Podbean, Good Pods. Good Pods is an up-and-coming one that I've been looking at.
Really?
Yeah.
I've never heard of it.
Neither had I, but apparently it's on the rise. And I think I went for like a whole week.
Like their wieners.
Having never, thanks, Todd. Having never heard of it before, all of a sudden in a week I saw like 7 different things about it from like other podcasters.
Oh, nice.
So hey, we're on Good Pods as well. But you can definitely find us out there. And if you want to reach out to us, you can email us at schnozzcast@gmail.com, or you can DM us on Instagram or on Threads, or even send us an email if you want to know, what do I do with this lady in my life, with this other person? How do I make them happy?
Yes.
I don't know.
Sweet love and
Check out
advice.
older episodes.
Older
on,
episodes anywhere.
YouTube.
YouTube is where you should go. 100%.
Yep.
Like and subscribe.
These angelic faces.
Mm-mm.
And I'm putting my hand also all the way out to Seattle for Todd.
Is Seattle that way?
It is actually that way.
Okay.
It's that way.
I was like, I wonder if he actually thought about this one.
I think that was the equivalent of Todd asking you to spell something. I'm like, oh shit, I'm on the hot seat here just for a second. Boys. So, just to get the show started, the last episode that we published on Friday, it was an older episode from late summer this year. But in that episode, we were talking about top 5
Summer last year.
Yeah, correct. Yes, summer 2024, late summer 2024. In that episode, we did a top 5 segment in which we covered top 5 cereals.
Nice.
And I was challenged by Todd, Vincent, Osborne, Dylan to sample Captain Crunch with the red berries.
Crunch berry. Yes, indeed.
Yeah.
Crunch berries.
So, yeah. So this has caused some confusion, I will tell you, because Todd specifically said, and I asked him several times on the show, what am I looking for? And he's like, Captain Crunch with the red berries. There is no Captain Crunch with the red berries.
It's crunch berries.
That's what I had to find out for myself.
I
Todd
told
wasn't
you,
very
go to
clear.
the tape.
I did.
Go to the tape.
I just listened to it. I had to listen to it again this week. So,
Was I drinking when I said it?
yeah, you were. That's no excuse.
Oh.
Anyway, so here is the box. I fulfilled my part of the agreement. I've got my cereal bowl with the spoon.
Oh, you're going to eat it now?
Yeah. How many other podcasts are going to have their host eat an entire bowl of cereal on the show?
You're going to pour some...
I'm going to take my Arizona Hard iced tea with lemon.
Hang on. I can tell
Yeah.
you right now what you're about to do.
Yeah.
You're not going to like the crunch berries. Oh, this is a great idea.
That was a red berry. Let's see how that
Wait a
compares
minute.
to the purple berry.
You're eating it
Hold
with you're pouring booze in there to eat it?
That's what I was just saying.
I was
Todd.
about to until you stopped me.
It's a bad idea.
Don't do that. Yeah, bad idea, bro.
I,
Why would you do that?
Do you not have any milk?
this show is built upon a foundation of many things. One of those things are bad ideas. That's okay.
That's a really bad idea, bro.
Look, I've got a whole fucking box here that I can eat. And even if the first one is bad because I poured hard lemonade iced tea on it, doesn't mean the second one won't be amazing. I'm not going to eat the entire bowl. So.
I would hope not. Hey, real quick, before you start this terrible idea.
Sure.
I just put a comment up on the screen.
Yeah.
And I want you guys, well, Todd can probably see it, but I know you
I
can't.
can't see anything.
My response to this comment is just, hello, beautiful.
You want me to guess?
Who do you think I'm talking to?
Hey, baby.
The guy in the kilt, Billy from the Elks?
No.
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 Are you sure it's not Billy?
I'm very sure.
Okay. You should look again because I feel like it is.
Oh, hey, Ginger Hottie.
That gives it away.
Oh, is that Lori? Is that Lori?
Yeah, she said hello, handsomes.
Handsomes. Okay.
And
So
plural.
I'm being
Plural.
lumped in with you two jackasses now. Is that how this is
Word.
going?
I think she was just talking to Todd and I.
Oh, that's true. That's true. She may not have been addressing me at all. So yeah, you're probably right to respond that way.
Especially since you're pouring booze on your crunch berries.
Yes.
She said you need
here we
milk.
go.
For sure.
I have milk, but then I'd have to get off of camera. And what fun would that be?
I never, you know what, guys? I just realized this. You guys say that as well. I was looking at that on Threads the other day, and they were looking for single words that were very Michigan-y, and you guys both say milk as if it's spelled M-E-L-K.
I don't say milk.
didn't-
I say milk.
No. Yeah, milk.
Now,
It-
Nick Bader says
both said
milk.
it.
Negative.
You two heads just said milk.
Milk.
Better,
Milk.
Mr. English.
You
Doctor.
say it, Todd. I want to hear you say it.
Milk, baby. Does it
I don't.
good.
That sounds exactly like what I just said.
No, just now, but before you both said milk.
Look, all this burbling is keeping me from putting alcohol onto my crunch berries. So we're gonna do this.
Todd.
Hey, did you tell the listeners that they can catch us on Grindr as well?
No, because I knew you
During
would.
housekeeping.
Anyway,
Yeah.
here's to you, everybody.
Catch us on Grindr.
Let me make sure I get some red berries into this bite.
Red berries. That's this red berries is Special K.
There's a thought coming. Yep.
This is a bad idea.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the thought.
Hold on. I need another. It's not a good representative sample. I need a second bite. Should I pour it in there on camera so that people understand and they don't think I'm fucking around?
I mean, I think.
I mean, I
I
guess
believe it.
technically I could have poured milk into this can, but I did not do that.
The fact you're not going, I can't believe I waited this long to try this cereal tells me that you wrecked it with
Is that
the
good?
pouring booze
Right.
in it.
Yeah, that's disgusting.
Yeah.
This is riveting.
It's like
riveting
it's
internet
like a
content.
shower cake.
Hey, shower cake was good. We're gonna see how.
What was the other one? Shower lasagna. Shower lasagna. Would you have?
Yeah, I made some camping style lasagna.
It probably should say something that I am now washing out the taste of that with this.
I mean, it's hard to ask if you were even a
very
fan
gross,
of it because, yeah.
No, but I'm going to come back and the next bowl I have will be with milk. But I will say, it is probably 17% worse when you pour booze in it
Yeah.
than if you poured milk on it.
Could have told you that.
Yeah.
17% only? I think
it's
probably
definitely
17.
Cory, you
70%.
want a bite?
You know what? As tempting as that is, Bob, I got Zyn pouches in right now.
Oh,
So
all right. Well, let me know when you're done with those.
yeah,
I'll pass it over.
I'll hurry up and put 3 more in.
Todd loves ice cold milk on his cereal, so it would have to be ice cold,
as do
hard
I.
iced tea in his cereal.
Exactly.
If he were to do it.
I like when there's little flakes of ice in it.
Yeah.
That's
So,
when it's right. That's
I think
when
that we
the
should
milk is
consider
right.
this challenge fulfilled on my part.
Yeah, even though you did it
Do
in a crazy
No,
odd way.
not really. No.
What do you mean not really?
Because you got to do it with the milk.
All right, I'll tell you what. I'll tell you this, Todd. You and I are going to make another deal. So first of all, you haven't even held up your end of the original deal. Did you buy a box of Cracklin' Oat Bran?
No, I couldn't find it.
You couldn't find it. You're full of shit.
Yeah, you are full of shit. All those hipster groceries out in Seattle, you couldn't find Cracklin' Oat Bran?
I couldn't find it.
Were you walking through the grocery store with your eyes closed?
You probably couldn't swing a dead Bichon Frise without hitting a box of Cracklin' Oat Bran.
Who killed the Bichon Frise? Come on now.
Well, that's a mystery for another time. But in the meantime, you did not fulfill your part of the bargain. But
I will.
Will you? So, okay, fair enough. When you do, at that point, I will have another bowl of the Crunch Berries with milk. Fair enough?
Fair enough.
All right, so original challenge fulfilled by me, not you. Secondary challenge to come. To come at a time in which Todd, is going to valiantly hold up his end of a commitment.
I'll probably have to go to 6 or 7 stores to get this Cracklin' Oat Bran.
Yes. I don't think that the original challenge said if you go to one store and don't find it, then I guess you don't do the challenge. I'm pretty sure that's not what we said. So, yeah, you should have gone to, if it takes 20 stores, that's what you have to do.
Wait a minute. It feels like a while ago when we did Gentleman's Agreement, I assigned the banker to somebody like, oh, it's on Apple TV and I can't find it.
Are you talking about Cory?
No.
Oh, so that person is not on the show anymore. That is an irrelevant reference and an unfair comparison.
It's a perfect whataboutism.
It is
erroneous.
Exactly.
Erroneous on all counts.
Yeah. Overruled.
It's a very, very solid whataboutism.
Yeah. And by virtue of that, I'm going to ignore it. So
I appreciate it, but I wanted to lob that out there, see if that was going to work in 2025.
I feel good that you felt like that was going to help you.
I did.
All right.
What's the matter?
Yeah, better?
No, I just sent a message to
Hey, Indy.
get that over the back.
Oh, is Indy on camera?
He was.
There we go.
Speak.
He's so confused because normally we're just
Speak.
drinking booze and he has nothing to be interested in. But now that he's seen me try to eat what some might consider to be a bowl of cereal,
He's like, oh, Dad's
he's
got
like,
cereal.
whoa, food?
Oh, now he's on Cory.
Yeah.
Put some cans on him so he'll listen to what I say.
Come here.
Indy, sick balls.
Yeah, he's very interested in food now. I don't have anything, buddy.
Yeah. So apologies to Andy from the Nonsense Zone, who was teed up to be our guest halfway through the show tonight, but because of the issues we've been having with 5G, bringing in remote guests was something that we didn't feel like we'd be able to pull off without a whole lot of, like an inferior product.
We can try if he's still able to.
He said I saw something on Threads. He just posted something. So bring his ass in here. Seriously? It sounds good so far. Sounds good right now.
Everything's running fine right now, as long as
Word.
I said we're not using the extra screen and all that, so we should be all right. And if he comes on and it starts getting crappy, then we drop him.
Like a freaking hot stone.
Exactly.
All right. Well, let's do this, Todd.
Push a button.
Yeah, I'm going to push a button for moving to airing of grievances, and that might be a good opportunity for you guys. And Todd, then you can kind of take over. And
Okay.
I'll
Push
give Andy a call.
Stop
and see if I can
yammering
get
and push a button. Push a button.
muting Todd. I'll give Andy a call, and then let me formulate my thoughts and take as much time as I want. See if I can get him lined up for some point here where he can join the room, and then you can bring him in, and we'll see how it goes.
Sounds good.
All right, unmuting Todd. Here we go. Grievances.
The Festivus begins with the airing of grievances.
Oh, I can't go
I
until
got
the
a lot
song's
of
over.
problems
If
with
I let it go,
Now,
you have to wait for another minute and a half.
Oh yeah, let's not do that.
rain blows upon him. I realize that
There's got to be another way. All right, here we go.
Yeah. You
Todd
wanna hear what
Dillon,
I'm
you got
pissed
the
about?
floor.
You ready?
Born ready,
Ready?
sir.
You know what I'm pissed about? My grievance?
Can't
My
wait.
beef?
Fuck, get into it.
Pitter patter.
Do you nice letter, Kenny drop. Anyway, do you know what school I hate more than any other school in the history of the universe?
Oh, do you want me to guess?
Guess.
Ohio State.
Indeed. Do you know who 1B is?
Who what is? 1B?
My 1B. Yeah, the next one I hate the most.
Oh, who were they playing? Texas.
No, dude.
Oregon?
Okay, before you embarrass yourself any further, Notre Dame.
Oh, that was my third guess.
The two schools that I cannot stand, and any real Michigan fan cannot stand, Ohio State and Notre Dame. Two crap institutions that I wouldn't send an enemy to. Dude, and that's the national title game? And not for nothing. I think they both lost a bunch of games to teams. Oh, didn't you know who Johnny Buckeye lost to this year? Michigan. And they're playing for a national title. The only thing that makes me feel good is when those knuckleheads wallop the frickin' I don't even want to say the Fighting Irish, the frickin' what's the name of the dude that was on the bench? There's a movie about him.
Rudy.
Yeah, him. When they beat the Fighting Rudies. And by the way, it's going to be a whoop dizzle. It's going to be a ass smashing. It's going to be a taint slap. What's another good one?
A cock wobbler?
It's going to be a cock wobbler. It is going to be a beatdown of epic proportions. I think that the Ohio State Suckeyes are going to beat them 56-12. Maybe more. Maybe 66-12. And I don't know if I can watch it. I mean, what a horrible national title. And not for nothing, I thought having a playoff was actually going to make things better. It feels like none of these schools deserve to be in the playoff. Other than I can't even say it. The teams that are, oh my God, what a horrible, my beef is this. This 12-team playoff sucked balls. The games were competitive. They were horrible. And I love the fact that I think it was Mississippi's coach I think it was Lane Kiffin. Oh, the SEC is really good. And then they got woodshedded. These guys, this sucks. This playoff sucks. And by the way, my last beat besides this faux national championship game sucking, college football sucks because next year none of these teams will be the same because everybody's transferring to all the other schools. This transfer portal, college football is ruined. The playoff is ruined. College football is ruined. And my beef, Cory, is that you didn't know who the two shittiest, horriblest college football teams in the history of the universe are. And the playoff sucks and college football sucks. So I feel like, you know what? I'm on to soccer. I'm on to real football.
I'm just catching up here, but it kind of sounds like you used his grievances segment to call you out for some reason. It seemed to be a grievance / personal attack on Cory.
It had nothing to do with me.
Okay, that's what it sounded like.
My guess is I got the first one right, and I couldn't guess Notre Dame.
You did.
I just heard him ripping you apart for not getting
Guess?
the
Doesn't not Cory, you don't you just say Notre Dame twice and your blood pressure should go up. No, oh yeah, here's the other thing too about Notre Dame. Hey, you know what happens when you win to get into the national title game? Your school wins $20 million to share amongst the conference. Guess who's not in the conference? Freaking Notre Dame. They freaking play a bunch of patsies, and this one year they limp through and freaking snake their way into the freaking. Oh my gosh! I just
all right.
Cut away.
He's at a loss for words now.
I'm flummoxed.
All right, we're all back.
Right. Why don't you flummox a shot up for yourself, Todd? And I got a grievance. I got a grievance after that, but we could definitely do a shot first. By the way, what are you drinking tonight, Todd? What are you drinking, Todd?
Hey, I'm drinking a little bit of Sweet Tea Whiskey by Twisted Tea. It is fantastic. And you know what I would never do? Put it on Cracklin' Oat Bran. And for my beer, I'm drinking a little
hold on.
Splash.
I would pay good money to see you eat a bowl of Cracklin' Oat Bran with some Twisted Tea whiskey in it. So let's not discount that out of hand. Okay.
I'm not a whore. I will not
keep an open mind,
do
sir.
that.
That's all I'm saying.
Because you would pay good money, sir. Can't pay me. I'm the
I didn't
pimp.
say I was paying you. I'm paying your pimp.
I'm the pimp. You said you'd pay good
You're
money.
the pimp?
I am the pimp. I am the PIMP. Put it in my pocket, Bob. You use the hoe.
I feel like I just offered to put it in your pocket, and you're like, nope.
And I said, no, I'm the pimp. And that's
what kind of pimp turns down money? What kind of pimp
I'm
turns down?
straightening out the universe. I am
Cold
the
hard
pimp.
cash, Todd.
I am the pimp.
All right, well,
There's not a pimp pyramid scheme. I'm the pimp, not you.
I feel like this is a deal that's going to be worked out later off the air. So let's do a shot. Hey, if you're out there and you are,
I got my shot.
Feeling like all this talk about we've talked a lot about booze so far on this show. This is the probably the Recovering Alcoholics podcast at this point. But if you haven't already, now's probably the time where you're feeling like you want to pour yourself a shot. So do so and join us. We'll pause just for a second here real quick.
And we're back.
Cheers.
Cheers, boys.
Cilantro.
Ooh. Wish I had some
That is
crunch berries to
good
wash that down.
stuff. That's very
Now,
good.
if I had poured that
Very
shot
good,
of
Bob.
Fireball over my crunch berries, you would have been well served to call me a psycho.
Oh, okay, I was going to say, I thought you were going to say I would have liked it.
Oh, no. Even I wouldn't do that. That's insane.
Actually, why don't you let Cory pee in them and then you eat them that way? Then I'll freaking call you
Todd,
a hero.
Great idea. Let's get this done.
I'll pay you $1 American dollar, Bob, if you eat some pee.
You're a horrible deal maker. That's all I gotta say. That's my first grievance of the night.
You know what?
Todd calls himself a pimp, but pimps don't make this shitty deals like this.
Todd, we're going to sweeten the pot. I'm going to throw $1 on top of your $1.
Thank you.
Oh,
There we go,
$2?
Bob.
Sold.
I figured that's how it would take.
All right, you got another grievance, Todd?
I did. No, I forgot.
Perfect. So this week I spent a lovely full week, 5 straight days on jury duty. And now that it's over,
love jury duty. I'd love to be on jury
I could
duty.
talk all about it, but I'm not going to do that. I will, however, air my grievances about jury duty. And they are as follows.
How could you be mad about jury duty?
First of all, how could I be mad?
It sounds awesome.
First of all, jury duty is, unless you're really excited. By the way, so my first grievance about jury duty is you've got a whole huge ass room full of people that have been called there for jury duty, many of whom are going to be called up.
Not the Jewy duty.
The Jewy duty. Rosenberg, come to the front.
You wouldn't believe it. Just a room full of Jews.
There.
I think so. The jewelry duty.
Have you reached a verdict? Yes, we have. Oi. Oi.
To the chambers they go.
To the chambers they go. First of all, there are a ton of people in that jury room, the jury selection room, who would love to be in a jury. I wasn't aware of this, but I met personally 5 or 6 people who were so excited and could not wait to be in the jury. I, on the other hand,
That's how I would be.
could not wait to try to get out of it and see which one of my my devious harebrained schemes were going to get me off this jury. Why, in God's name, don't they poll people to say, check the box if you'd really like to be a juror? And everybody who does, put those people in the box first, and if they pass all the questions, then Bob's your uncle, you're done. There were people who were in the courtroom as I was being selected, not wanting to be there, who were visibly disappointed that they weren't going to be a juror. And I would have traded places with them. I would have paid good money to trade places with them and get my 5 days back.
You know what? There's a reason why those people aren't selected.
Why is that?
Because they're psychos, because they want to be on a jury.
I'm not a psycho, Cory, and I want to be on a jury.
Yeah, well.
Cory, point proven, I think. Enough said. So yeah, I was selected despite my best efforts to get out of it. If I had done anything else or pulled any other cards out of my sleeve, I feel like I might have ended up in jail. So It was.
So you're
just
mad you did your civic duty.
Listen. I'm happy to do my civic duty, but I'm also happy
feels like you don't,
to get out of doing my civic duty. Both of those things seem attractive to me. And not for nothing, when you get selected for jury duty, especially when you were counting on not being selected and actually be able to get out of it, and like you go in Monday and you're like, I'll be out of this and home by dinner time and I'll have the rest of my week. And you're not. Now you're like, oh, I have to make all sorts of other arrangements. By the way, the internet provider technician was supposed to be here this week, couldn't make it. Couldn't have him come, because
thanks
of
jury duty.
Yeah, so that's my first beef. Yeah, Todd, go ahead.
Are you going to tell us about what trial was about? Like, was it OJ versus?
I could tell you.
State of California.
I could tell you.
Was it something juicy?
What was the defendant's name?
What was the what was the deal?
It feels like a bridge too far. Do you want her phone number? I legitimately know her phone number. I have it memorized.
Yeah, we probably shouldn't do that.
588-2300
Empire.
No, I would never. I would never do that. No, it was a. See, now in my head, I'm flashing back to the judge telling all the jurors, like, after the trial's over, you could talk about it. It's fine, but while the trial's going on, you cannot speak to it to anyone.
So real quick, Danielle did ask me when we met up on Thursday. She asked me, did Bob say, tell you anything about the trial? And I was like, Danielle, how dare you? I'm like, Bob's an upstanding member of society. He knows he can't talk about the trial.
He's a goddamn patriot. He would never do that.
He's a smooth criminal.
Yeah, so I can give you the high points. It was a murder trial. So at least it was an interesting trial.
Murder.
That's the one thing I will say. Todd, I'm also mad at you because I sent you a text at some point after it was over on Friday saying murder was the case. And
I didn't know and
you didn't respond to me.
I didn't, because it was out of the blue, dude. No context.
What do you mean no context?
I didn't know you
sent you the
jury
lyrics
duty.
to a Snoop Dogg song. You don't need any other context. That's the context.
Dude, you know what? You know what's funny?
I'm muting you.
No. Let me tell you how I received your text. I'm like, why is this white dude sending me lyrics, words
this
to a
white
song
dude
I know?
I've been friends with for almost 30 years.
Almost 30 months.
We've talked about Snoop Dogg. We've talked about our shared love of music. Yeah. And you're questioning my credentials, sir?
Because he spent a week.
Well, I am, because I'm like, you know that I know this song. I'm like,
yes. Why else would I send it to you?
No contact. No idea.
If I sent it to my mother, I would not be surprised to get a question mark in the reply. But I sent it to Todd Dillon, who I know would know it, and I got no reply. That's my second grievance.
No
my
contact.
second grievance is against Todd Dillon. I want it noted for the record.
That's a kicker move, bro.
So anyway, murder trial.
Was it gruesome?
I don't think it was
murder. Stabbing? 57 folks?
An axe murder would have been gruesome, dude. I would have been riveted. But I will tell anybody who's out there who may be picked for who's possibly going to be selected for jury duty, the secret to getting through jury duty, number one secret is take copious notes every day. When you're in the courtroom, write everything down. When people aren't saying anything worth writing down, then write down the lyrics to your favorite Snoop Dogg song. Write a poem about write a poem about a tree. Write something that keeps you awake, because the good news about court is now you, as a juror, you can bring your phone into the courtroom. You just put it in your bag. You can't bring it out, but you don't have to surrender it. You can't bring glass bottles, but you can bring, if your bottle has a cap on it, you can bring drinks, you can bring gum, you can bring mints, you can bring food, you can bring whatever.
Drinks.
Yeah.
Like if you pre-mix yourself some gin and tonics,
like a G&T
or gin and juice.
You can't quite.
Did you pre-mix a gin and juice, Bob?
Now, no one ever asked me to demonstrate. Give me a taste of that and let me see what it was.
Bob's walking up and down the jury box, pouring people martinis.
Technically, I could have gotten away with bringing booze into the courtroom.
Oh yeah, until you were wasted.
Smoking endo, sipping on gin and juice, Bob.
Yeah. Oh, now you're
Sipping
coming
on
back
gin
with the
juice.
fucking Snoop Dogg references for me? Thanks, Mr. Johnny Come Lately. However, I did game the system and bring cigarettes into the building because you're not supposed to bring any tobacco or lighters.
I thought you stopped smoking heaters.
But I always smoke in the courtroom.
That'll be the day.
I always smoke in the courtroom. So, so I took a couple out of my pack and put them in a sandwich bag and put that sandwich bag in my bag, and I got away with it for 5 days.
Where were you smoking them?
Well, you get one break a day for lunch where you can either go down to the cafeteria or you can step outside and go to your car and go to like Bucharest, which I did one day.
So why didn't you just leave
Bucharest
the cigarettes in your car?
Wait. You went to Bucharest?
I did.
In another country?
No. The Bucharest Grill, famously known in the Detroit area for their excellent shawarma. So I had a great beef shawarma at Bucharest Grill on the first day for lunch. But
beef? If it's not lamb and chicken, you ain't talking shawarma.
All right.
Get back on the porch.
Are you going to let me finish my grievance, Todd?
Tell me more about this murder.
You got to walk. There's 2 parking lots, Corey, and one of them is close, but one of them is not very close. And it depends on what time you get there, what time they, the first day we're supposed to be there at 7:30. The second day they're like, why don't you be back here at 9:45?
Hey, real quick.
Yeah.
Was this at Frank Murphy? Or
No, Frank Murphy, they don't do that anymore. So now
is it closed down?
I don't know if it's closed down, but they definitely like
It's the building right next to Ford Field, right?
it's the criminal justice center off of Russell over by Eastern Market.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
I like
Do you know what I'm
Eastern
talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm so because I was just trying to think so
I'd never been there before, but this was way better than Frank Murphy because I haven't been a juror on a trial at Frank Murphy, but I've been called for jury duty at Frank Murphy.
It's terrible.
It sucks.
Because the reason I asked, because if anything was at Frank Murphy, the parking lot that they did have across the street is completely leveled now, and they're developing it.
Oh,
so it seems like they might never really do too much criminal stuff anymore at Frank Murphy.
I'd be totally fine with that.
So, anyways, sorry, I'm
No,
not
it's
trying
fine.
to derail.
No, you're all good. So the trial, Todd. Yeah, so the murder trial. What I will say is the prosecuting attorney was young, and at first I thought that like this was her first trial or something, and she was like a associate or
Assistant
DA, assistant attorney,
assistant DA,
maybe.
Yeah.
And there was another guy at the table with her, and I thought, well, he's her mentor, like he's the full-fledged attorney, and he's like there to provide guidance, or whatever. But it turned out, I didn't find out until the third day because he never said a word, and he was never identified. It turned out that he was the officer in charge of the case.
Todd, for the record, I'd like the record to show
To reflect.
And reflect.
Yeah.
That Bob felt, since a female was at the stand, that she could not have been the actual DA. That the male sitting next to her.
She was young. He said she was young.
First of all, she was young, and secondly, there was another guy at the table who only communicated, never said anything other than whispering in her ear. And I'm like, I figured that he was giving her pointers on what to do.
And he's like, you know what he was whispering, Bob?
Yes, I do. Not enough ass shaking going on when you're walking up to that witness stand. But she did a fantastic job. Like over a dozen witnesses, like all manner of material evidence. And then I felt really bad for the defendant because her defense attorney was awful. He was terrible.
See that, Todd? Spends 1 week in downtown Detroit. Now
murder was the case.
Now he's quoting Snoop Dogg songs and
he's terrible.
Terrible.
I know.
Yeah, he was awful. He did literally no work, and I've never seen. Well, I don't know.
Was he assigned was he a court appointed attorney?
You know it.
I would assume because compared to her, and also compared to the officer in charge who was sitting at the prosecutor's table, all of his clothes were like ill-fitting. They're all like way too big for him, and he wore the same Ugg boots every single day.
Attorney.
Court-appointed
attorney. He graduated from Adrian College, probably.
Adrian. That's like MIAA school. That's still like back in the day a $40,000 education.
All of that.
he graduated.
Olivet then.
He graduated from Henry Ford.
Yeah. He clearly didn't know. I don't think he really knew what the defense was. And I'll tell you, I've seen a lot of movies.
He didn't put one on?
What's that? Todd, what did you say?
He didn't put on a defense?
Well, let me tell you what happened.
He didn't put on a defense?
Let me tell you what happened, Todd. I've seen My Cousin Vinny. I've seen what's the Cruise Nicholson movie?
Lincoln Lawyer?
Not Lincoln Lawyer.
Oh, You Can't Handle the Truth?
Yeah.
A Few Good Men.
You Can't
Handle the Truth?
Law and Order. I was under the impression that like a trial starts and then the first thing they do
The Good Wife?
Do I have to mute you, Todd? I was under the impression the first thing they do is like the prosecution does their opening statement and then the defense does their opening statement. But that's not what happened. Prosecutor did her opening statement. It was very good. I'm like, okay. And then the defense is like, no, I'm good. And I'm like, now you're supposed to be, the defendant is supposed to be presumed innocent, right? The burden of proof is on the prosecution,
on the state,
right,
yeah.
to prove the case. And according to the judge, and I believed him, the defendant and her attorney could literally have sat there doing a crossword puzzle for the entire 5 days and never said a word, because the burden is not on them to prove that she's innocent. The burden is on the prosecution to prove that she's guilty. However, I'm like, man, you don't have anything to say.
So, real quick, Todd he still has his hand up, but Bob can't see you, Todd.
I didn't mute you. I was just kidding.
Yeah, no, we can hear you.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't want to interrupt. I wanted to hear you out.
Yeah, go ahead.
Was the defendant a brother man? The murderer?
I declined to answer that on the grounds that it might include.
So now I already know how this thing. Dude, brothers getting railroaded. That's what happens, Bob. That's on the TV all the time. And
I didn't.
tell me you didn't vote guilty. You know he didn't do it.
I'm not telling you anything. I'm not telling you anything about how it went.
He showed me his voting
I
card.
feel like
it said guilty.
Oh my goodness.
There's no voting card.
I know.
He didn't do it, Bob. You know he didn't. He been railroaded.
So the defense attorney, yeah, at the end of the we didn't get any defensive statements or witnesses until like the fourth day. And by then I'm like, you've just had to go through two straight days of like damning testimony from the prosecution. Mm-hmm. And all he came back with was a couple of rickety witnesses who were not at all credible and no evidence to prove that, the defendant was either not in the area of the crime or couldn't have done it because of XYZ. Nothing.
See, but and here's the thing, and I didn't know this until actually just a couple years ago. Mm-hmm. The role of a court-appointed attorney that's not your defense counsel. A court-appointed attorney, their only job is to oversee and make sure that the trial is run the way that it's supposed to be.
I thought that was the judge's job.
No, that's a court-appointed attorney's job for the defendant. They don't have to actually defend them.
This guy, he didn't. He tried.
Clearly, he didn't.
He tried.
Right.
It was a shitty effort.
But technically, all they're there for is to make sure that the trial process runs as it's supposed to.
Meaning, I'm here to object in case the prosecution says something that I need to object to.
Yeah, the prosecution steps out of line or something like that. That's really all they're.
Let me tell you.
No, don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
There are court-appointed attorneys that will defend their clients, but technically, by law, their job is just to make sure that the trial process runs as it should be.
Any group is full of a few winners and a whole lot of losers. This guy, I don't think that the prosecution ever had an objection that was
broke a sweat
that was sustained by the judge. This guy, however, the defense attorney, every single time
he opened his mouth,
yeah, she would object, and the judge's like overruled or sustained, and
overruled is negative, Bob. So you got it right.
No. The objection from the prosecutor to a statement by the defense attorney was sustained by the judge.
Upheld. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah. Almost every time. There might have been one time where he had her objection was overruled, but
you know what that is, Bob?
What? What's that?
Because the fix was in. The fix was in.
Fix was in.
That's what they wanted to put Don Tavian in jail.
Listen.
Actually, let me ask you another clarifying question.
Sure.
The defendant, you don't tell me the real name.
Of course.
But was the defendant's name more closely like John or Steve or Tim or Phil?
Chad.
Or
I refuse to answer the question on the grounds that it may incriminate me. Chad.
Brock.
Skip.
So I already know, Bob. I already know. And you voted guilty? You're part of the problem.
I'm not telling you how I voted. So long story short, I got two other short grievances that have to do with jury duty. With the whole point of these grievances was to explain jury duty. I was there. So all of my fellow jurors, you're supposed to go right from jury services to the jury room before you go to court. So the idea is to keep the jurors out of the eyes of the public, and specifically for those people who might be attending the trial, either on behalf of supporting the defendant or supporting the prosecution. So or the victim, I guess I should say. So we spent a lot of time in this jury room, and the first day was pretty quiet, right? Like we were a bunch of people who didn't know each other, who were kind of thrown together in this whole thing. So every time we were out of the courtroom and sitting in the jury room, which is basically just like a big conference room that we can't leave until they tell us that we can leave, everybody's pretty quiet. No one really said a whole lot. There's a little bit of small talk here and there, but not a lot of discussion. And it was great. I didn't really understand how great it was until the second day, because motherfuckers went home on the end of that first day and they decided on the second day, like, I'm going to let my freak flag fly. and the minute we got in that jury room, all of a sudden, now everybody wants to talk. And, there's a guy who was like a wannabe R&B artist from, Metro Detroit, and he had published a bunch of stuff that's on YouTube, and he decided that every time there's a little conversation, he's like, well, I think I need to pull up one of my greatest songs and play it on my phone at top volume for everyone to hear.
Todd, I did ask Bob if he was making sure that he was telling people about the podcast.
No. I did not. It never even occurred to me. Never occurred to me. So my first grievance is against music, man. Like, man, if you're in a jury room and you're stuck in there with other people who probably don't want to be there, would rather be doing something else, but they're there doing their civic duty, keep your mid-90s R&B hits to yourself. We all don't need to hear that. Maybe you could talk about them and say, oh, I'm not sure if you guys are aware, but I'm a bit of a songwriter. And maybe you play one song for them so they get the flavor, and that's it. That's it. Not multiple songs every day for 5 straight days. We don't need to hear it. No one said, hey, where can I buy that album? No one said that.
Now you know he definitely
was he more or less similar to Quintavious?
That's what I was going to say. Now,
Who
Todd,
Quintavious?
now you know he voted guilty.
Who is Quintavious?
I know Quintavious is the person who you convicted of murder.
I mean, if that's your guess, I suppose you're entitled to it, but I don't recall saying a name. So my last grievance for the court is so when you go back to the jury room, you can bring your own food. And there are guys and gals who brought, coolers, and they had made, this and that food that they brought, rather than spending money down in the cafeteria or going offsite. And I saw, for 2 days in a row, I saw a dude take out 2 pieces of bread and take out a little container of peanut butter and a little container of jelly. And he took his little plastic knife and he scooped out the peanut butter and he spread that peanut butter on one of the pieces of bread.
Chunky or smooth?
Smooth.
Okay.
Creamy peanut butter. Don't know the brand, but that's irrelevant. Then he put that down and he grabbed the container of jelly. And he took his
grape
knife,
or strawberry?
Grape jelly.
Okay.
Took the knife, grabbed the same piece of bread that he just spread the peanut butter on, and then grabbed the jelly and spread the jelly on top of the peanut butter on the bread, instead of the other piece of bread that had not been touched yet. What kind of psycho.
Yeah, that's how you do it.
Spread? No, it's not how you do it.
Yeah.
Would never,
Dude,
never.
Hang on.
You never spread jelly on top of the peanut butter.
Dude.
That is a rookie mistake.
No. Hang on. We're solving this right now.
There's nothing to solve.
Yes,
That's my
yes.
grievance.
Dude, hang on.
Moving on.
Yeah, we are moving on.
Sports.
To the PB&J. So, listen.
Yeah.
For years and years, 8 years straight, basically, kindergarten, 9 years, kindergarten through 8th grade.
That's some quick school math you're doing.
My mom would, I mean, don't get me wrong, thank her for making us lunch every day.
Hats off to Cory.
But
absolutely.
when she made PB&J, that's what she would do. She would put peanut butter and then jelly on the other piece of bread. And guess what happens?
No. What you just said, that's how you're supposed to do it.
No, because then guess
peanut butter on this piece of bread,
then guess
jelly
what
on the
happens,
other piece
Bob?
of bread.
That jelly soaks into the bread.
Yeah.
The only way it can be done, peanut butter on both sides, and then you put the jelly in the middle, and you make the peanut butter pocket so that bread doesn't get soggy from the jelly.
I will say that sounds intriguing. I've never done it. I'd be willing to try it. But that's not what this fucking psycho did. Peanut butter on one piece of bread, jelly on top of that peanut butter, other piece of bread on top of the jelly.
I mean, if I'm doing peanut butter on one side, that's how I do it.
No.
Bastards.
Fucking no.
You privileged bastards. You know what we had, Bob? Mayonnaise sandwiches. Mayonnaise on one side because we didn't have enough to spread on two sides. Mayonnaise sandwiches. You self-centered, privileged sons of bitches.
Tell me, Todd.
Don't put your jelly on the peanut butter side because it makes you a psychopath. Some of us can't afford jelly, Bob. Boysenberries or salmon berries or any of the berries that you bitches freaking eat all the time.
Crunch berries?
Salmon berries.
Crunch berries?
Crunch berries.
In this later,
isn't that salmon berry, Cory?
In this later, most of us would say more prosperous period of your life, Todd, during which, some of the words that characterize your existence now aren't mayonnaise or sandwiches, but helicopters and palatial estates. Have you had the opportunity to make yourself a peanut butter and jelly sandwich?
No. Well, I haven't had the opportunity to. Yes.
You're too
I do
rich.
not make them.
You're too rich to eat a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. You elitist son of a bitch. Not sure why you're even offering an opinion on this.
Gordon Ramsay's too busy cooking up other stuff in Todd's kitchen for him.
Right. So yeah, he went from mayonnaise sandwiches to, I'm not going to eat that peanut butter jelly trash. I'm over here with my truffles and my caviar.
God damn it, Gordon. Did I tell you to leave the kitchen?
Yeah.
The
head off that chicken and call for my helicopter.
The only time you ever see Gordon Ramsay just put his head down and walk into the kitchen.
I'm not gonna let you guys shame me because you know what? Because here's my question though, Bob. Here's my question to you freaking elite motherfuckers, you privileged fucks. I used to, when I was a young poor lad, you know what I always wanted? That jar. What's that? Who made that jar of peanut butter and jelly in the same jar where it was like it looked like a referee's. Yeah, and it was like stripes, like peanut butter jelly stripes.
Yeah.
I used to want that while I was eating my mayonnaise sandwiches, and I used to always want. I'm like, man, one day I want to be able to afford one of those jars of the freaking peanut butter and jelly.
That was your dream.
But you know what
that
sucks?
was my dream.
And now that he can afford all the jars he wants, they don't make it anymore.
Yeah, he's like, fuck that. I'm gonna have some Iberian pork. I'm gonna go spatchcock a chicken. And eat a meal that's befitting of my stature,
and put a rosemary aioli on it. Yeah, exactly.
Right. Yeah, now he deals in rosemary aioli, which probably took him quite a while to build up to, since it's very similar to a mayonnaise sandwich.
Exactly. I got to stay close to my roots.
Right. All right, and thus ends the airing of grievances and scene. And
with that, let's do a shot.
Scene.
With that, Todd, pour yourself some of that Twisted Tea whiskey.
Reach into that Lego-filled cooler.
Yep. Todd, just out of curiosity, are the Legos that you have in that cooler, are they those cool little like house plants you can build now with the Legos, or are they more of like the Batmobile?
I have no idea what the hell you're talking about.
All right. I'm going to say the plants then. I'm going to say the plants.
Shots ready.
Here we go.
Cheers, boys.
Cheers, everybody.
Salute.
Wee.
Ooh, buddy.
That is the good stuff.
Ladies and gentlemen, we used to do 90-second sports, but now we are unshackled by the rules of a
sports,
timer
baby.
or an hourglass.
90-minute sports,
Yeah,
baby.
It could be as
Hit
long
the
as you
button,
want.
Bob.
Here we go.
90-second sports.
How long is the song, you might add? It's almost 2 minutes long.
We have to wait for the drop, don't we? Is that?
Yes.
There
That's
it
it.
is.
All right, here we go. Where is the drop here yet? Can we move on? All right. Todd Dillon, you as always, I would defer to you to run this segment, but I gotta just offer the fact that there's a couple things we wanted to cover. Corey's got one of them, so feel free to direct to Cory whenever you want.
Cory can kick us off with the wings. I want to hear about.
Here
I want
we
to hear
go.
his take on the wings because my
Here we go.
Kraken are going to whoop that wing ass when they come to Seattle.
Oh, we need to have a gentleman's bet. We need to have a gentleman's bet. Let's
You're
do it.
funny,
Let's
Todd.
do it. Let's do it. When's the game?
Yeah. What? I don't even know what.
Let's
Yeah,
look up.
when is-
Go ahead, Cory. I'll look up the schedule.
Yeah. No. Dude. So the Wings finally got rid of old Newsy. And I think it was well overdue. Don't dislike the guy, but man, have we been in the shitter ever since he took over. And so like Bob and I had discussed, Todd, the one day when we were out. I said, you know what? I said, me personally, I think because it was what, the second game that they were playing with McClellan as the new head coach.
I think so. Yeah.
And some of the plays that were made, especially near the end of the game, I can't remember exactly which player it was, but he made a diving play to knock the puck away and get it through the defense, and it ended up for a breakaway for a goal. And I'm like, see, that's the effort that I haven't seen with under Newsy. And so I told Bob, I said, you know what, I feel as if some of the players were finally had enough with the old head coach and got together and we're like, yeah, we're just not going to give, we'll go out and skate and we're going to play, but we're not going to give the effort that we should. And to me, that became, and Bob was like, no, there's no way that they would ever do that. I'm like, yeah, you don't know what goes on in the locker room. I see a whole new different team out there now, and the effort that they're giving.
Bob's paying attention to different things in the locker room.
Well, yeah, like men's cocks and things like that, but and dropping the soap every 2 seconds. But that aside, Todd.
You say the word.
Do you see my calves? Can you see my calves?
Say the word. I'll mute him.
So yeah, dude, I see a huge difference, and we've been on a what is that? I think
I'll tell you in a second. I'm looking it up right now.
6-game winning streak.
It's a 6-game streak. Yeah.
Yeah, ever since McClellan has taken over. I'm sorry, but that stat alone speaks for itself. And
Yep.
like I said, when you watch the games now, you see a whole different team out there. There's
6-1.
Absolutely.
Since the day he came on board, we're 6-1. And tomorrow at 3 p.m., Kraken at the Wings.
Oh, I thought it was February 4th too. They're playing.
they might
But yeah,
they could
I'll-
they could
I'll-
have
well,
two
we can
games.
bet on both. Yeah, we can bet on both, Cory.
Yeah, you should have
We
two
will we will wager.
opportunities for sure to give us your money. So we'll figure out the amount and bet on tomorrow's game tonight.
Sounds good.
Sounds good to me.
Yeah. So, go ahead, Todd.
No, go ahead. I'm sorry. I didn't know if you were finished.
Oh no, that rounds out my thoughts on things, and I'm glad.
That's it?
Well, I know. Again, I'm glad they have a new head coach.
Yeah.
And it seems like that was the right move to make. And although it is a little too late in the season for us to really repair the damage that's already been done,
Doesn't matter.
I mean, for as far as like playoffs, but going forward, I'm glad this decision was made, and it's like I said, it's already proving itself to be true.
And
So,
they've beaten in those 6 wins, the Capitals, Penguins, Blue Jackets, Jets, Winnipeg Jets, Ottawa. These are some good teams.
Yeah.
So it's all
Nice.
good news for the Wings.
Nice.
So back to you, sir.
Sorry, I was just commenting on Reed Blankenship intercepting them Green Bay Packers and then doing a black man dance in the end zone. I love that. But anyway,
what's the score?
Anyway,
the Green Bay game.
It's Green Bay 26, Philly 24, but Philly has the ball at the Green Bay 12-yard line.
That's a nice close game.
But here's the thing I wanted to talk about it. This is, and I want to get you guys' opinion because this will tell me how kind of old you are, not in years, but in kind of mentality. So there's been a big hubbub, brouhaha. People are kind of pissed. So, there's a high likelihood that either Shedeur Sanders or Travis Hunter from the Colorado Buffaloes are going to be very, very first-round picks in the upcoming NFL draft, right?
Right.
You guys are aware of that?
Oh, of course.
I am now.
Okay. Well, and typically on draft day, the people who they project to be first-round picks show up in New York or wherever the draft is being held. So that way they can roll up on stage and Goodell can shake their hands and hand them the number one, the jersey of the team that selects them with the number one jersey on, right?
Okay.
Both familiar?
I am now.
Well, it turns out, okay, well, Cory, NFL neophyte.
He's being completely transparent with you, Todd. Give him points for that.
Exactly. No hate. I was just checking. But Bob, you're familiar with these things, and I assume some of our audience is.
Oh, yeah, for quite a while.
Yeah. So Shedeur and Travis Hunter are thinking they're declining the invitation to come to wherever the draft is being held with Goodell, and they want to stay in Colorado and celebrate near their college classmates. And there's a bunch of internet hate being thrown saying, "Oh, I think they're both overrated. I hope they don't get drafted. They should show up at the thing." And at the end of the day, I think as much as we older people, especially like you, Bob, you old souls, want to stick to tradition, I think if these guys want wherever they want to celebrate this day, let them celebrate it. I don't think they need to be there with Goodell to get the jersey, to get the handshake. In fact, I always hate it because part of the thing that I hate the most is when someone, because of some reason, falls out of the first round or is dropping beyond what people thought they were gonna. The whole thing isn't about celebrating these guys, getting their job, basically getting the job of a lifetime to play professional sports. There's as much attention to, he was supposed to be the number 4 player, but because he called a lady a name at the grocery store, and sometimes they do bad things. But again, I think there's the coverage of it is more about kind of making sure that they are kind of appropriately humiliated for not being drafted in the right spot. And so the fact that these kids are staying in Colorado, I think it's a great thing. But when I read about it, the venom that people are spewing because they're breaking the tradition of actually showing up to do it, I think sports is a little bit broken. I think, and I during the grievance, I shared. I think college football is irreparably broken because I've always thought that these kids should get paid, but now with NIL and each college paying crazy money and these guys getting crazy, incentives to play at these colleges, and then the starting quarterback from Georgia going to transfer somewhere else, or actually even a better example, the starting quarterback who played in the game yesterday for Texas has decided that he wants to come back to college. But guess what he can't do? He can't go back to Texas because the world wants to see Arch Manning play. And no matter who's better, next year we're going to see Arch Manning lead the Texas Longhorns. So the kid's going to enter the transfer portal and play someplace else. Yeah. This freaking mix and match college football thing and people being mad that 2 kids actually want to stay in their college town to celebrate their draft day and people being mad. I think sports, as much as I love the segment 90 Second Sports, and you'll never find a bigger sports fan than me. I think people have lost their goddamn minds about this shit. And we need to freaking get back to celebrating these kids. And again, I know that they're 21 years old, so they're technically
Shadeur's 22.
So. I get it. I get that they're But again, we know they're not fully developed mentally. They're going to grow into something much, much more complex and more mature over the next 15 years. And the fact that people give these guys crap for doing what they want to do, my thing on this, and I know this is an grievance segment, but I'm like, sports is. Dude, I love sports, and again, I find myself going old school because remember when in the NFL they celebrated touchdowns and it was all very simple, and now you can do elaborate dances, and even though you get fined for dunking over the goalpost, there's still these elaborate dances. And now in football, it still makes me a little bit uncomfortable when I see the college kids do that, but I'm like, let the kids have fun. That's what drew them to the sport, and the fact that they're performing at elite levels. I think that we need to let go of tradition and stop hating on folks because when you were a kid, they did it this way. And we need to kind of get on board that the world is changing. I think if I would have loved to have seen. Why are you giggle bushing at me?
Because every time you do a sports thing and you get really passionate about it, which I love, by the way, I don't want to talk about out of being passionate. But I always play a little game with myself, like find the period, and I could never. Yeah. It's really difficult to find.
There's not a period. It's all commas.
It's all. It's all commas.
At least he's self-aware.
It's all commas.
Yeah.
At least he's self-aware.
Oh, yeah.
Nothing but commas, and yeah, it's really difficult. And if you're at home and you're looking for a drinking game, I highly encourage you to play Find the Period when Todd gets going on his grievances and his points.
No,
it's
difficult. You would never be drunk. What you have to do is
you will, because every time you were like, that's it, then someone's like, no, it's a comma, drink.
You just have to keep drinking until that period actually comes.
Yeah.
And
no, you drink at the commas. That's what happens.
Okay. I am passionate about it. I mean, there's so much stuff.
That's what all of our fans love about
sport.
You, Todd.
There's so much stuff in sport to love, but it's not the only thing. And let these young kids be kids, man. Let them be young and let them make the dumb mistakes they're going to make. I'm sure the first time, because not for nothing, everybody on this show's grandfather, the first time a brother man shook his ass in the end zone when he scored a touchdown, they were mad. All of our grandfathers were pissed the first time a dude shook his ass in the end zone. He's like, yeah, give the ball to the referee like you've been there, right? You do the old Barry Sanders thing, right?
You're right. I consider myself to be the harbinger of like bringing that into the 21st century.
So my take is stop hating, bro. Stop hating people. Stop hating. Don't hate. Appreciate. Love the fact that these young people, so I won't call them kids, but these young people are doing something amazing. And as a person who's played the sport, these young people are doing such amazing things. I mean, Brock Bowers played injured all season for the Oakland Raiders and set the single season record. Salute, gentlemen. Set the single season record for receptions for a tight end and for a rookie. He beat out Puka Nacua, who is now, if you're a football fan, a household name and one of the best receivers in the NFL. I think get off ceremony and circumstance. And it's so funny how we all grew up to be our grandfathers. And so stop hating and appreciate. That's my take on sports tonight. There's so much cool stuff going on. And I want to, and this year in 2025, this year, we're going to talk more about bass fishing and caboodie. There you go. Exactly. No periods, just commas, bitches. We're going to talk about
Todd, if you don't wrap this up quick, I'm not going to be able to keep my head off the table.
Yeah.
Exactly. We're going to talk
about going down fast.
Exactly. And did you hear about Kentucky?
Yeah.
Kentucky basketball team?
I only have so much alcohol here, Todd.
Should have got
I love it. Thank you for letting me have a period-free conversation around sports. And yeah.
Whew, that was a doozy.
It was. It was like a fifth grade quinceanera.
Hang on, we got
a fifth grade quinceanera. I thought that quinceanera is
no periods. No periods.
The first period I thought was a quinceanera.
In fifth grade?
There we go. And that concludes 90 Second Sports.
All right, and we keep moving along here with another segment that we always love. We feel like we just did it, but we're going to do it again here. Gentleman's Agreement.
Gentlemen's agreement. Gentlemen's agreement. Gentlemen's agreement. Gentlemen's agreement.
Yeah, so get out your copy of Leonard Maltin's guide, Roger Ebert's biography. Here we go.
It's the motherfucking gentleman's agreement.
All right, Gentleman's Agreement. If you
I love that song.
If you're unfamiliar, this is a segment in which we assign each other movies and TV shows that we love that we think that our co-hosts are going to love. This week.
Hey, who's that? Who's that Lily on the? I guess my right on the screen.
I can't see the screen.
Technically the left.
You're interrupting me for no reason.
He's talking about the
No, it's the
Gentleman's Agreement
artwork.
picture.
There's a dude who I don't know.
Let's talk about that. Why don't we just derail everything to talk about that? Sorry, go ahead, Todd. What were you wanting to babble on about?
Never mind.
All right. So it's going to be Todd and I giving our reviews today, and as I always want to do, because I can, I'm going to start with Todd. Todd, you had to watch End of Watch, assigned to you by Cory.
Oh no! I thought I had to watch Golden Watch.
Is that an actual movie?
I was told that you watched this movie approximately
I'm just
17
kidding.
months ago.
I just messing.
You
with
watched
you,
this
bro.
movie back
I
when you were
thought-
41, and you've been waiting ever since to give the review.
I'm just kidding, bro. I watched End of Watch because I was assigned this movie because I love to annoy my wife by saying that every actor in Hollywood is Jake Gyllenhaal's cousin. And I love to say Jake Gyllenhaal. What an amazing last name. I think if I were to change my name, I'd be Todd Gyllenhaal. In fact, maybe in 2025, I'm going to do that.
I see we're carrying
Todd
over the
Gyllenhaal.
no periods mantra over into Gentleman's Agreement.
Todd Gyllenhaal. I like that. That's got a ring to it, don't you think?
I agree.
Todd Gyllenhaal. I think
I would have
I
answered
think
if there was
that's
a
where I'm
period
going.
where I could jump in, but I've never heard one. Anyway, what do you
Anyway.
think about the movie? Spoiler for your review, sir.
That's tough because I had a grievance about the movie. How come
You can
How
give
come
a
people of
grievance
color
without giving a
always die?
spoiler.
how come people of color always die? Anyway, great movie. I'm so happy. Who assigned this to me?
I did.
Cory, what grade is he getting?
Cory. Dude, you did it again. You get yourself a solid B+. Solid B+.
That's an A+ in my book.
Nope, that's a
That
B+.
is a solid B+.
In Todd's
So
book.
here's the thing. It is a movie about police officers in L.A. In L.A.'s is kind of the most dangerous sections of Los Angeles, pre-fire, of course. And my thoughts and prayers go out to the people in California battling and trying to survive through the wildfires. I think if you can and you're able to, please donate to any and all services that help the people of California who are battling the fires and have been displaced because of them. So, on a serious note,
Well said.
prayers to Los Angeles and the Los Angeles area and people of California who are struggling at this time. The movie that I watched, End of Watch, it is interesting, and it's a movie that is a movie where the main actors, Jake Gyllenhaal, and I can't remember the other dude's name, but they basically are filming
Michael Pena.
themselves. Michael Pena, love Michael Pena. In a as if they were filming in the office, because they videotape everything, but essentially they are kind of just two young police officers getting shit done and trying to get shit done the right way and doing the right things and taking care of each other. So spoiler free. If you like good cop movies where the cops are trying to do the right things and they rip on each other because they're good friends and they take care of each other, it's a great movie. I think, and again, if you love Jake Gyllenhaal like I do, then you can't go wrong. Solid B+, Cory. So that was my spoiler free because I don't want to give too many details about the movie itself because I think there's like spoilers galore in a real review. But if you like action,
Todd, I will say, I mean, it came out in 2012. So if you have a spoiler or two, I don't think that's a bad thing for this.
the white guy named Jake Gyllenhaal lives, and it kind of Yeah, there's my spoiler.
Yeah. But I mean, do you not agree that ending was pretty epic? How they played that out.
Oh yeah, dude. If you like action movies and you like cop movies, you will enjoy this movie. This is a solid B plus. I was surprised that I don't remember ever seeing any ads for it. And like I said, I'm a Jake Gyllenhaal fan only because it annoys the shit out of my wife when I say his name.
Yeah, once you brought up Jake Gyllenhaal and you said you had not seen this, I was like, well, this should be right up your alley. But
solid B plus, brother.
So and the coolest part and a little like inside info on when they were actually making this, Michael Pena and Jake Gyllenhaal did actually just go out for a lot of scenes and ride around in a legit LAPD car where, obviously wearing the legit LAPD uniforms. And they got to know so much about how the officers worked and like what their body language was and all this and that they drive around and film without cameras outside of the car. And other LAPD officers had no clue. They thought they were two other police officers out there.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
Actually, so I do have one spoiler then. Not really a spoiler. One of my favorite scenes in the movie was where they go to bust one of the criminals in his house. He's like, "If you put that badge and gun down," and it's like, "Okay."
Oh yeah, when he dude, that was a great scene.
That was a great and the respect after that. I'm like, that should happen in real life. Like if a suspect is talking shit and you are going to talk shit back and you're willing to like go, hey, let's go old school fisticuffs and see what happens, and we'll make an agreement on what happens. Dude, that was one of the and what I loved about it was in real life, the respect that was given based on the outcome is what would happen in real life, I think.
Yeah, he ended up basically kind of being an informant for those two, and let them know that they were in some trouble with the Mexican gang. Yep. Speaking of which,
great movie.
You remember the
Speaking of Mexican gangs,
well, you remember the scene when they went into the backyard for the noise complaint.
Yep.
So that was a legit MS-13 gang party.
Holy shit!
And the producers talked to there were actual gang members there. And the producers had to talk to these guys and be like, hey, like, would you mind, if we came and filmed at one of your parties? And at first, like, everyone's like, no, you can't do that. I don't know what the producers did to get them.
Because Limu Emu doesn't cover that.
What's that?
Limu the Emu doesn't cover that.
Oh, yeah, no. But they actually filmed it at an actual MS-13 gang party during that backyard scene. So yeah, I'm glad you liked it.
Very good choice. Thank you. I did. Loved it.
All right, sir. I'm closing it out with I had to watch Loudermilk. Who assigned that to me?
Todd did.
I did.
Okay. Todd. God damn it. You hit me right where I live, sir.
Right in the testiculars.
Yeah. I'm giving this a solid. So I watched the first 4 episodes. I'm giving it a solid A-. I see where it's going, and I'm hoping it keeps going there. I don't know if it's going to or not, which is why it's A- and not an A. But it stars Ron Livingston, who most people know from Office Space.
Oh yeah,
but he was also in Band of Brothers and a bunch of other stuff. Great actor, but he's older now. And he's kind of playing this gruff, recovering alcoholic who's giving treatment, running sessions for other, alcoholics in trying to keep them on the straight and narrow. And he's a bit of an asshole, and
he's a perfect asshole actor.
I'm going to tell you, there's. One of the great things is, I can't remember the actor's name, but he was in the Three Stooges remake playing the role of Curly. And this actor is playing Loudermilk's roommate. And I'm only 4 episodes in. Will Sasso.
Oh, yeah.
Great comedian.
Yes.
And
Yes,
I loved him as like a modern day Curly. But he's got range. And so he's playing. I'm only 4 episodes in. So something's up with him. They haven't quite gotten to what his deal is, but I feel like it's going to be really, really interesting because every scene he's in, he fucking steals it. 100%. And that guy, he's so much better. I feel like he's one of those, if you're going to make a list of unappreciated, like underrated actors that most people don't know about, but should he be at the top of that list?
Will Sasso is he was in was it Friday the Saturday Night Live competition show. Him and
Michael Richards,
Bobby Lee,
Richards was
Bobby
on
Lee.
that show.
Yeah, but Will Sasso's fantastic.
He was also on Mad TV.
Was he?
That's what it was.
Okay.
Mad TV.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's what Bobby Lee was in Mad TV. That's
Yeah.
right.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah,
So
yeah.
not Fridays, but
No, it
Mad
was
TV.
Mad TV.
Got it.
Yeah, Mad TV.
Yeah, he's fantastic. He's got range as a dramatic actor that I can't take my eyes off him every time like he's in a scene. He just steals it. You know, you really got to work hard if you're playing across from him. But the girl who plays the main character who's in need of help that Loudermilk is trying to help, also very good. But you know, it's a big feather in the cap of a series where in season 1, episode 4, I am very, very curious about where these characters are going to go and what their deal is. Like they haven't revealed too much in an hour in 2 hours of television, but you know they're getting there. You just don't know how quickly they're going to do it, but I'm really interested. So I will definitely finish this season. Is there more than one season? Todd?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. So yeah, A-, sir. Well done. I was really, really impressed with what I saw.
Awesome. Thank you.
No, thank you, buddy. Before we do
Hey,
new
Cory,
assignments,
before we do that, what movie do you have, Cory? Just so I can think of it in my mind.
Crock of Gold. Crock
Okay.
of Gold.
oh, it's called.
Did I get it right?
I don't know why I put it in there. Oh, wait a minute. Crock of Gold, A Few Rounds with Shane McGowan,
That's right.
who was the lead singer of the Pogues, who recently passed away. But it's a documentary, and you know he was a famous drunk. So I'm like, listen, there's something to be learned and some wisdom to be gained from, you know, the Irish are full of poetry and madness, as they say.
Looking forward to it. So real quick too, to go back to Will Sasso.
Yeah.
When Vine was still around,
Oh,
that was so basically it
who didn't love Vine?
was the old version of TikTok basically, but
Yeah.
you can only do like 6-second videos.
Right.
Will Sasso would do this thing with lemons that he'd be like talking and then it would cut away and he'd have like 4 of them stuffed in his mouth and he'd just like spew them out as if he didn't know how they got in his mouth. He did it so much to the point that the California Board of Citrus sent him cease and desist letters that he was
He's giving lemons a bad name?
that he was wasting so many lemons. And he's like, I bought him.
Fuck?
I can do whatever I
Yeah,
want with
it's,
him.
right.
Yeah, no, the California Board of Citrus or Citrus Control Board sent him a cease and
Citrus
desist letter.
Control
Wow.
Board.
I mean, they listen. If anyone sent us a cease and desist letter,
I
feel
mean,
like
you did pretty good.
We made it.
Yeah.
We have made it, everybody.
Well, let me talk to the co-president, Elon. Get rid of that board.
Yeah, because he's going to listen to what we're saying. All right. You got yourself a Twisted Tea whiskey shot there, Todd?
I do, be
What some might have considered 6 months ago to be a Schnozzcast soggy shot,
Yes.
which, saying 3 times,
That's Todd.
only I have been able to do.
Schnozzcast soggy shot. Schnozzcast soggy shot. Schnozzcast
He's
soggy
already
shot.
fucked it up.
It was close, buddy.
I'm ready. I'm ready.
Or was it?
Schnozzy, snazzy, snazzy.
Cheers.
After that.
Salanta.
Woo. All right.
That was a
Wow,
good
wow.
stuff.
New assignments. This is going to be pretty easy, Todd. I got you and you got me.
Yep. Okay.
So,
I got so much for you to see, Bob.
So do
so
I.
much.
So do I. I just don't know what you've seen. Now, I feel like in the recent past, you and I talked about a movie called American Fiction. Do you recall this conversation or no?
Was I drinking?
I think we were both drinking. But I remember it. The question is, do you remember it?
I do not. American Fiction?
Yes. It's on, I think it's on Prime Video.
American Fiction. All right, that's a 2023 film.
Yeah.
I have not seen it. Yes, we did talk about that. Yes. That was recently because it was on my list of things to watch. Yes, so I have not seen it.
Well, yeah. So fucking, of course. That's why I'm assigning it to you.
Why we discussed
Got
it.
it.
That's what you got.
Okay. Have you seen The Ministry of Ungentlemanly Warfare?
Is it a movie or a series?
It's a movie.
Netflix?
I think so.
I don't think I have. I'm gonna record it right now, assuming that I haven't. And
Okay.
but immediately following this episode, I will go and check and confirm with you. If I have, then I'll call you. You can assign something different.
So do you? So let me. I think we can fix it. Can I sort it out right away? You know how like there are some hints of truth in Inglourious Bastards.
Uh-huh.
This is the British version of that with more truths.
Oh. Well, you're right. That really lays it out for me. And now
So
that
you haven't seen it
mention
then?
No, I haven't seen it.
There you go. The Ministry of Ungentlemanly Warfare.
I got it.
Perfect.
Excellent. All right, let's boys, let's close it out with existential question of the week.
Existential question of the week.
What's the other song theme that we have that Todd always loses his shit over in?
Funko
Is
Disc.
Funko?
Yeah.
Funko Disc. We haven't done that in a long time.
You'll have to
and by the way, I do have to say this, Corey.
Yes,
Your
sir.
dreams might come true. Well, again, there's a potential for it. I just applied for a VP role at Funko.
Danielle!
I didn't get it yet, but I applied for it.
Our problems are over, baby.
So, you know, if I wish I would have remembered the external monitor or the Wi-Fi was working,
Right.
because I do have a brand new Funko this for you guys that I think you're gonna like.
So we'll get to that after the existential question segment. We're going to talk about up and coming future stuff.
All right.
Okay, so I've got a couple of questions here that I just want to kind of cross off because I feel like we've covered these already, and I want you guys to verify that for me. This question: what is your typical day-to-day uniform? I feel like we've covered that already.
We have not.
Really?
Yeah,
Not
definitely not.
familiar to me.
Okay, well let's start with that one then. Typical day-to-day uniform, and I will say so. Day-to-day kind of it kind of implies this is what you wear while working.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I got that
Go right
easy.
ahead. Go right ahead.
What I'm wearing right now.
Under Armour t-shirt,
Under Armour
too.
t-shirt.
casual jeans, and dude shoes.
Not even these are like these are my true work pants. But-
True, is that the brand name or
Yeah.
something? All right, you don't need to pimp for brands
Well,
that
I'm
aren't
just
paying us,
saying.
Corey. Just say they're pants.
That or like a pair of like hiking khakis,
All right.
and then flip flops in the summer or shorts, especially shorts, but
Mm-hmm.
or Birkenstocks.
Okay.
That's it.
Um,
That's what I get to wear to work every day too, which is amazing.
yeah, I'm gonna kind of go with. I might as well just go with whatever I'm wearing at the time.
Well, you work from home.
It might be what I'm wearing now. It might be a Grateful Dead t-shirt and sleepy pants with
Sleepy pants.
yeah, with some slippers, perhaps.
Sleepy pants. Oh,
Hit the button.
that's yeah.
What button am I hitting?
The sleepy pants button.
There's no
Bob.
sleepy pants button, Todd.
Sleepy
Todd, you got to be
pants.
more clear about
Sleepy
that.
pants. Sleepy pants.
Listen. Maybe it's happened to you, Todd, where you and your dogs during the course of their lives have come up with words that make you both giggle, and that's just what you say. And so those words just enter into your vocabulary, and you're like, this is what me and my dogs talk about.
Oh, speaking of my dogs, I changed Bo's name, Bob and Cory.
To
What?
His new name is-
Lord Bo. Did you use my name in his paperwork too?
Nope. His new name is Jack Daniels. You know why?
No.
Oh, to please tell me he got into some Jack Daniels.
No, he's a hard liquor.
Wow. There it is. There it is. All right. And I guess with that, we can wrap up the show, huh?
I'm a little
Dude,
I'm a
that's
little
so
offended
perfect.
by that. Is it though?
He's a hard liquor.
All right, so Todd Dillon, I feel like your
Yes, sir.
day-to-day uniform is the
Is
suit
what I'm
with-
wearing.
the suit with the ripped pants from the crotch all the way down to the knee,
Yeah, it's that or this.
or this. All right, appreciate it, boys. Let's go one more because I feel like there's some.
Bob, are we
goals
not
in
doing? Are we not doing hungry shopping?
We don't have any monitor to put it up on for you guys, for everyone to see.
Yeah. The 5G giving us trouble put the kibosh on hungry shopping. But the good news is, no one can hear what you're saying when you're mumbling into the microphone. The good news is that at least it's done. It's ready to go. And everybody's got their hungry shopping
Gina?
done. So we're gonna get to it in the next few weeks. But let's finish this first.
Yeah, the next year or two.
Let's finish
All
this
right,
first.
let's do it. Hey, Gina.
Have we covered this question already, boys? What was the least useful class you ever took in school?
No, we haven't covered that one.
Really? All right. God damn, I really need to try to figure out why he did this the way he did.
Good luck.
I know.
Who's he?
I'm
Is it the
trying.
guy that I didn't know on the other slide?
Yeah, same guy. Same one. All right. So what was Todd? What was the least useful class you ever took in school?
Why did I have to go first twice?
Corey, what was the? Shut up, Todd.
You convict
Muting Todd.
Quintavious and I.
Corey, what was the least useful class you ever took in school?
So you know what? This is a tough one because it wasn't that it was not useful.
You're not going to offend anyone on this podcast.
No, I get that, but it was a cool class, but it wasn't useful. It was a history of rock and roll.
We talked about that class. It wasn't, well,
Wait,
it wasn't useful.
what? That's a class?
Yeah, which Todd, I was
Frickin'
just as
Back to beep.
I was just as surprised as you.
Beep.
I was jealous as
Back
fuck
the
when I heard you
freaking bus
got to
stop.
take that class. I'm like, that gives you credit
That's a
toward a
class?
degree?
Yeah, it was a class.
I was super jealous.
So, and I did take this class a little bit later than my normal college career. But the professor went to Dearborn High, same as I did, and graduated 4 years prior to me. I was like, well, this is very odd that I have a professor that's only 4 years older than I am.
Right.
But yeah, like I said, it was a really cool class, and there was a lot of stuff I learned. But what I realized, especially like I said, since I took this a little after my normal college career, I was by far the oldest person in there, and I knew a lot of what we were already discussing. But every time a question was asked,
Right.
I was the only one that could answer it in that entire room.
Yeah, we've had these conversations before. I remember you saying
I've talked to
how
you.
cool the class was. And yeah, I'm the only one that answers these questions. I'm by far the youngest and all that kind of shit. I didn't realize it wasn't useful.
I mean, I knew all the information.
You're
that
on a
was being given.
podcast every weekend. How is it not useful?
For the history of rock and roll?
Yes.
Because it was already stuff that I knew about rock and roll. There was no like new information.
So you're saying it was useful because you didn't learn anything new?
No, I knew. Anytime
he was sleeping.
A question was asked, I knew the answer to it because it was covering from like.
Who's the greatest musician of all time, Cory?
Well, I mean that's a little open-ended or pretty open-ended, but
well, there's only one answer.
When you say all time, what do you mean by all time?
All time.
Prince.
There you go.
You got it.
You did learn something. See?
So, I already knew that, Todd.
That's the only way. That's the only way you're going to get a period on a Todd Dillon.
Right. But
make sure your answer is Prince.
Yeah. But yeah, so like I said, it wasn't like I learned anything new in the class. It was all information I already had from growing up with the music and the eras that we were covering. But I think the reason why they do classes like that is for, like I said, that generation that was in the class with me had AC/DC. No one knew.
Yeah.
And there was just mind blowing things. I'm like, how do these kids not know this? But again, so that's why I think they make classes like that now. Because, to me, it seemed cool. And I was able to breeze through it. But there are a lot of the younger generation out there that doesn't know anything about that era of music.
Right.
Kind of like 9/11. There's actually classes now being given on just 9/11 because the younger generation doesn't know exactly what happened, the impact that it had on our world.
But is this a roundabout way of saying that the younger generation just isn't interested in recent history? Like if it happened before, I would call this the Nick Bader way of looking at the world. Like
who's Nick Bader?
Whenever I would talk with Nick about someone who had died or was only popular before he was born, the response was as though that person didn't exist. Like, what are you talking about? I'm like, Marilyn Monroe. He's like, she's dead. I don't know anything about her. She lived before me. Doesn't matter.
Basically, I think that's the outlook.
The outlook
that younger generations have.
I'm not putting. Let me be clear. I'm not putting Nick Bader with the younger generation because clearly he's not a member of the young generation.
Well, no, he's older than I am.
Totally.
Who is he?
But that's exactly the approach that he would take. It was like this person was erased from history. Like, I'm not interested in anything you have to say about someone who lived before I was born.
In a sense, because I know Nick, like when it came to like JFK and things, of that nature, he was interested in that. But like Marilyn Monroe, who was just an actress that he didn't.
Who's she?
Look it up, Todd.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, he just had no interest in Marilyn Monroe.
We should do a segment where Todd completely derails whatever we're talking about, just randomly.
I think we just did that. So yeah, no, it was crazy to see that.
Yeah,
I said people. I mean, not that much younger than me, but younger had no clue about anything prior to just modern music.
It breaks my heart.
Yeah,
Marianne Monroe is a musician.
Marianne Monroe.
Yes. And Gina, thank you for acknowledging Bob and I, and not just Todd.
Thank you, Gina. You're the best.
Thank you, Gina. You're the
What are you thanking her for? She fucking doesn't know you exist. All right, so
and Lori said those classes exist because it's literally not about what you learn; it's about learning to make connections in history.
Is there a period on the end of that sentence?
There is, but then there's a follow-up comment.
With no periods.
No, there's three. There's three. Oh, she's continuing.
There's commas.
Yeah.
There's commas.
I.e. to be continued.
When you study the history of rock and roll, you are understanding eras of time through music, likely because you're We'll wait for the next comment, Lori.
All right. While she's
rested in music,
the next comment. The least useful class I ever took, biology, and it was really to be clear.
Hit the button.
To be clear,
no.
It was only the least useful because I was not good at it. Admittedly, I didn't.
Well, hang on. That doesn't count.
Well,
because that'd be me being like,
let me finish. Let me finish. Let me finish, and
right.
then you'll. And by the way, I did not pick math. I could have, but I didn't. I picked biology, and the reason why is because I felt very bad about it. I felt like this is something that I should have been interested in. I was disappointed that I didn't understand it as well as I felt I should have. And I thought that I was really going to be fucked for later in life, that this was something that was going to come up and that I was really going to suffer for not doing well in it. And as it turns out, not one part of my life has required me to know anything about biology. I'm not going to say I'm lucky because of that, but I guess I'll say that, a career in IT just, I've had no reason to use biology in any portion of my life. So as a result, even though I had the guilty feelings of, here's a subject that I feel like I should have done well in, and I was disappointed that I didn't do well in, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm going to regret this later in life because this is a skill I'm probably going to need. Turns out I didn't need it. I notice I didn't say math. I didn't say math, Cory or Todd. I didn't say math because while I'm also not good at math in the same way that I'm not good at biology, that's something that has definitely come back to haunt me. I do wish that I was good at math. It was a useful class that I just couldn't master. And my life probably would be better if I grasped math more adeptly, I will say.
I feel like, Bob.
Yeah.
You've enlightened me about you tonight.
Well, that was my goal.
Because
I woke up today going like, okay, get your coffee. Number 2, take a shit, and thirdly, make sure that you inform Todd a little bit more about who you are.
Yeah, because it feels like
3 goals accomplished.
If you'd studied biology a little bit longer,
mm-hmm.
you probably wouldn't have voted guilty for Quintavious, who you gonna get the needle.
Stop
that. It feels like you like spoke volumes tonight. Now I know you a little bit better, Bob.
Yeah.
Quintavious is a human being. He's a real man.
Now they're just subhuman. They're not just someone behind bars.
Exactly. He's getting a needle now because you didn't take biology seriously.
Because I didn't take biology.
His brain is not smaller. Quintavious is a man, Bob.
Pending episode title. Quintavious, guilty.
I feel like we'd be the only ones to chuckle about that episode title.
I'm probably
the only ones.
I know Quintavious wouldn't chuckle about
For
it.
the history of the show, no matter how many years we went on in the future, no one would ever chuckle at that but us.
Well,
which is really not what you want from an episode title. So,
and Gina, I'm very
wouldn't chuckle.
Gina, I'm very glad you're enlightened by this segment. That was the entire purpose.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Well, that's what we shoot for every segment.
Yeah.
Every segment.
Yeah.
Some sort of super fan.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
All right. So a couple things to cover here before we close out for the night.
Todd never picked his.
I thought you did, Todd.
See how Bob dismissed Quintavious' life? See where I fit into this, Cory? That's why I said I was enlightened.
It's starting to roll into everyday life. That is sad.
Exactly. See, Bob just showed me.
Maybe it was because you've been talking so much, even while you weren't even giving an answer, that I figured you gave your answer.
Quintavious, Todd, same.
One in the same.
Guilty.
Todd, would you like to let us know what is the least useful class you ever took?
The least useful class that I ever took. English.
Explain.
Why?
Because
clearly I don't.
If we ended the show right now and I muted you,
clearly I don't. Put
it would be unsatisfying to our super fans. That's
because I can't think of one thing I ever learned in English that I don't know now.
Well, because you learned it in English.
I didn't learn English in English, Cory.
Would you learn French?
Yeah. Where else did you pick it up?
Off the street corners where me and Quintavious used to hang out.
Down at the Statue of Liberty, standing in line to get your...
Quintavious and I learned Ebonics on the corner, Bob.
Now, Todd.
Slinging peanut butter and jelly sandwiches with peanut butter lazily strewn on top of the peanut butter.
Lazily strewn.
Now, hang on, Todd. Now, in Bob's defense on this one,
hold on, Todd, that was really top notch. I gotta. Hats off to you, sir.
Now, if we were to just listen to a voice recording of you and then one of Quintavious, I feel like we'd be able to pick out the difference as far as who is better with English.
I don't think so.
Okay. Well,
each of those 4 words you just said tells me otherwise, because I understood every one.
Yeah.
Ask me a different question.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Now you and Quintavious are this one and the same.
Yeah.
Could never tell. Todd, even when you say it sounds whiter than if Bob and I were to say it.
It really does.
Like milk? Can I have a glass of milk, please, Mom?
Why'd you say it with that creepy passion?
Yeah.
Because
I'm sort of aroused right now.
I don't know what to feel. You're talking about my mom and milk, and
all of a sudden I'm like, I just want
a creamy glass of milk.
Oh, dude.
All right, so I feel like we got Todd's answer. We can kind of move on.
Yeah, you did.
Now. Yeah.
English
hasn't helped you one bit.
Yeah. Yeah. We're just gonna just for shits and giggles agree with you on that one.
So real quick, speaking of milk and what we were just going on about.
Yeah.
I know we've mentioned her before many episodes ago when Nick was still on the show with us.
Who?
But yeah, I know. He had a friend, Danielle, that was very chesty, and she liked to show that off a lot. And we were out to eat one day with a couple of guys that we worked with at Fairlane, and our one buddy, Reggie Bell, was sitting directly across from Danielle, and he was just staring hard at him. Just it couldn't take his eyes away from
unabashedly, like
no
shame,
just locked onto her chest,
taking him in.
And so finally, at one point, whenever there was kind of a silence, and he doesn't even look up at her, he continues looking at her chest, and goes, "Damn, Danielle, every time I see you, I just want a bowl of cereal." And she goes, "What?"
As though no one had ever said that to her before, which I highly doubt.
She had no clue
what
he was referring to, even though he was staring directly at her chest. And that's our good friend Reggie. I'll never forget that moment in time. Probably one of the hardest times I've laughed in my entire life.
Shout out Reggie. Okay, so listen, we're gonna close out the episode for the week, but before we do that, just a quick reminder. So today is January 11th, 2025. We will not be live next Saturday. We will be live next Sunday.
Special day.
January 19th, we will be broadcasting live from Uncle Ray's in Dearborn Heights, Michigan for the first game of the playoffs
the big one
for Detroit Lions. We don't know who they're going to play yet, but we should know by sometime in the next 24 hours. And then after that, assuming that the Lions will win, no jinx here, just,
I was going to say, don't curse it.
You know what happens when you assume, Bob?
You make a stupid judgment call?
We will likely broadcast again from Uncle Ray's on the 26th of January. And then I think from there, is it 2 weeks before to the Super Bowl on the 9th? Todd, keep me honest here. When's the Super Bowl?
Dude, am I a soothsayer?
Come on, Todd.
Are you saying
it's so far away?
I'm saying 2 playoff games, the 19th and the 26th of January. But I think that after that,
February 9th.
February 9th.
There you go.
So okay,
there
so
I
was
go.
right. So we're gonna do the next 2 Sundays from Uncle Ray's, and then God willing, do the Super Bowl on February 9th from Ray's as well.
We're gonna live stream the Super Bowl?
Fuck yeah, we are.
We're gonna break the internet.
And following that, on the 9th, our next show will be on Saturday, February 15th, in which we should be bringing on Girl Dinner as a guest. Sam and Amber.
A lot coming up.
Yeah, a lot coming up. A lot of good stuff coming up. It's all
That's what
exciting.
she said.
Todd, way to bring us home. Way to bring us home in the end. It's all about the dick. All right, boys. You good? Everybody good?
Yeah, I think
Todd,
I'm
you
all
good?
I feel good.
Love you, boys.
Tony has done it again.
Yep, we're going to see everybody a week from Sunday. It'll be January 19th from Uncle Ray's. Please join us then. We'll be broadcasting for the Lions playoff game.
Let's
In the
go
meantime,
Lions.
on behalf of Todd and Cory, this is Bob saying we'll see you next time. Peace out.